Legendary fighters for the Great War, the Banquron, as various heroes and legends of old and across the eons, multiverses, timelines, and dimensions, poured out of dimension. One in particular hero was an old king of royal legend who, in previous confrontations, was close to ruin the universe, but was stopped by elders, Elder and Sharon, whom wanted to bring the universe to peace and not conquer it by war. This king was King John Royal of the Royals. He had returned along with his viceroy, Royal Bill, and Akara, Cardin Royal, and Wilson Alcenial, and various other Banquron had either returned or was met. Currently in the universe, the royals had a leader, a governor by name of Susan. She led the planet in truth and justice and honesty. The royal planet at the time was strong, but didn't have any means of ambition, because the Androsian government ruled for over 1,000 years, and everyone who grew up at that time only knew Androsian ruling. Then suddenly, King John Royal had returned with his forces and various others. At this, she was shocked, stunned, and amazed. How could this be? Then he pronounced, as we were close to death, we were suddenly sucked away in this dimension. What time is this? What is happening? King John Royal was briefed, and then he said, "We had millions, billions, trillions of Banquron and able fighters willing to join my cause. I'm winning already here. Now is the time. These Androsian people have wasted and squandered their time. Now it's time the Banquron rule the universe as we see fit." With that, the call to all available Banquron powers and rulers was initiated. Thus, Barbara Baha was one of those, as he was the leader of the Baha clan. Finkel, who was wandering around across the universe on a fasting mission, also saw the return of his planet, Finkel. And Finkel was like, wow, there was no dark evil force bringing the planet back or anything. It had returned to its natural grace and returned to splendor, based from the other King Jack Royal, who was a different king, who destroyed the Finkel in order to gain power. But this King Royal was different. He wanted to unite all Banquron into a single force to take their rightful place as top of the universe. Finkel, infused by this sense of new duty and realization of his home world, thanked God for his prayers were answered, and he went to join King John Royal's cause. Also were M. Dean, who was the Lady of the Commonwealth Funds, who was one of the heads of the Commonwealth Funds, along with this Commonwealth Fund, who were the leaders of the Commonwealth Fund during the time of the one world that was formed, where all the powers of the universe were based on one world, since the dimensions were gone and the rest of the universe led uninhabited after Cyrus's defeat by Star 8 during that timeline. They had returned, just like King John World and all the others that will come eventually. By the split second before they died, they will be brought here, and realizing that John Royal was uniting the land, and realizing that the Commonwealth now um, to reunite and Banquron once more and stand as one. So they joined. Lady M met the current leader in vision as a part of the Banquron forces. And so he too joined the forces of the Banquron. And Master Benny, who was ratted out in the last tournament by Sudamatran, left the Lagoon organization, and seeing that the Commonwealthers were about to embark along with other Banquron to rule the universe, Master Benny cut his losses and joined the Commonwealthers, and it's currently in vision to be led by Lady M in the conquest of the universe along with the Royals and the Scotia, who was being led by the current leader of the Scotia, Val Scotia, and their officers Avon Scotia, Yellow Scotia, and Success Purple, and Debt Issue Corp. No one came back for the Scotia, but they just had officers and officials governing the planet. Now that a call was made, they answered the call as they were tired of being subjugated by another power. That was not Banquron. Also, during this time, Alberto Albino, who was the brother of another Albino, who was the bastard son of King Kamel in the first Scholastica story, and who was part of the Albino Primes, and gave the introduction of the Atlantean Primes, and etc. He had returned, and he was leading some Kichuru, and as King Roy was being briefed, and Alberto Albino came back with their planet of Pan Albino, which was destroyed by Perfection after it was just destroyed by King Madonian when he took the universe for a second time, as Albino wanted to unite the Kichuru to be self-independent from Madonian. Okay, so Alberto Albino came back, he didn't need the Kichuru, but his planet was close to Banquron. He said, hey, I'll join this King Royal. King Royal, John Royal, was briefed, and the two discussed Duke, who was a Tactoran and said to be the most powerful warrior in the universe at the time. And so this disease in which his beloved was affected with was only treated. But the Albino had the plan, which was a cure, because it was an old ancient plan that was a cure that instantly cured once it was boiled into a soup. And because Albino plan was destroyed, the current technology could only treat it but not cure it. With this, Alberto reached out to Duke, cured him, and said to Duke, King John Royal sends his regards. And Duke was on his knees thanking him, and he pledged his loyalty to King John Royal and to Banquron cause at that moment. And so, he being the leader of the Tactorans split from the Sudamerchants and joined the Banquron. This was a big major boost to the Banquron's cause, as the Tactorans were technologically advanced, and they had some great fighters. It would go well against a war against insurance. Also, the team Outcasts, led by Tim and Bond and Dan, who was the kickboxer, decided to cut their losses and join the Wretches Galaxy, as they were on a path to conquest. And if they join them, if they win, they'll get rich, they'll famous, and they will achieve their dreams, which they unsuccessfully didn't get to do during the tournaments. And so, back to Tactoran, Duke, Warren, and Rom joined the Banquron in their quest to rule the universe.